You are listening to Ffotocast, a podcast by Lloyd Williams and Phil Warren. We'll be talking all things photography, the wedding industry, and life as working professionals. Follow us on Instagram @Ffotocast and join us on Facebook by searching Ffotocast. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to episode number 34.
Morning, Lloyd. Look at that.
Morning,
what
Phil.
an upbeat start that one is.
How are we doing?
All right, a little bit nervous this morning.
Why is that?
Well, in typical fashion, we've decided last minute to record this via video as well. So,
Yeah.
So luckily, I mean, I did set up a new sort of video calling session for in the studio. So this for me looks actually pretty good. I'm quite happy with the setup, but we've never actually done any sort of like testing. So the audio is going to be okay for the podcast, isn't it? But whether we get something video wise out of it is
I put together my rig like as we were setting up, so
still not finished.
Yeah, it's a little bit messy, but doesn't matter, we'll sort it out
together.
But it's the first time that we've been talking about this for a while, trying out the old video record while we're doing the podcast. We're trying it for the first time as you're listening to this. We're also being filmed. So, we might have some clips to be able to post on Instagram.
That's where we come up with anything funny.
Yeah.
or anything we can use as clickbait.
There's an added element of pressure now because not only are people listening to us, but they'll be able to see us while listening to us.
See what we look like. So much weight Phil has put on over Christmas.
2-dimensional. Yeah,
I know. It's funny you should say like coming up with clickbait. Have you noticed on like I watch YouTube quite a bit and watch a lot of the content creators and stuff. I think a lot of it is the fact I got it on my TV. And
same.
Their content at the moment is hilarious. Everything is so like clickbaity and I don't know, it's just basic because they got nothing to do. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah. That's true.
I think that's the problem with the one. People are just
what sort of creators are you talking about there?
Well, it was one I watched Matti Happoja. So one of his, if I pronounce his name right, he's Swedish, I think it is, but he lives in
I've not heard of him.
He's Peter McKinnon's friend.
Okay.
So he did a video about how his Tesla cost him something like $800,000, and it was nothing to do with the Tesla costing that much. It was the fact that he could have invested that money that he spent on the car in Tesla shares. So it's like, how can you do a video about that? It's like, it's rubbish. And then Peter McKinnon does one about what's in my camera bag 2021, and it's the same
as 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
So it's you can see like people are really sort of struggling for work at the moment. So
yeah,
it's funny how like they come up with creative ways to make stuff. But there you go. That's what we do as well on this show, I guess. We seem to come up with ways to break ourselves.
We've got a new way of creating something now with the old video camera. So
yeah, I know. No picking your nose, no making faces and stuff.
This is good now because if you do you always quite often doing inverted commas.
Yes.
But you always say that you're doing it.
I always do it. Yeah, that's right.
At least there's a camera in front of your face now to pick you up with your inverted commas. So you don't have to explain yourself.
I know. To be honest, I have to explain myself quite often. Most people don't get me anyway. So.
Yeah.
So how's your week been? It's been a fast week, isn't it?
Yeah, that's gone pretty quick actually. Yeah. I'm not sure. What have I been? Oh, I've been working on my blog post.
Yes, I did see that. 2020 in review.
So I've finally published it, although it's not quite complete. I've got one more picture to add to it.
Oh, right.
There's a picture of a sign that is at the entrance to Porthcawl that says coronavirus, stay at home, protect the NHS.
Yeah.
And every time I've driven past it recently, I'm like, I need to take a picture of that. More so to add to like my COVID pictures or whatever. But there's a paragraph where I end it with the words stay at home. So
there you go. That's
ever since I started writing, I planned that road sign picture is going to go after that paragraph. So I published it without just because I've been working on it for like a week on and off. So I just wanted to get it out there. So I'll add that picture in later and it will be job complete. But
and that's coming from you that they were like, we really got to do one. complaining, no one's really doing them. And then in the last week, I've seen loads of people posting them now. So I think
well, I just got really into it. You know, I started writing it actually as soon as we finished recording the last episode of the podcast. So literally as soon as we ended our Skype call, I just had the urge to start writing. So I started kind of writing an intro and how it would be a little bit different to other photographers' kind of posts, because it's not just all going to be pictures. And then I literally got carried away.
Yeah.
And I spent 2.5 hours just writing nonstop. So I thought, I'm onto something here. So just carried on, added pictures in to kind of supplement the story. And yeah, I finished yesterday. So it's about
a bit of a wordsmith, I've noticed, Lloyd. I do like, you are pretty good at the written form.
Am I?
Yeah, I'll credit where credit's due, I think, on that. as I tip my hat.
I don't often hat. Yeah. I don't often get to write, so I just thought it was a nice I actually enjoyed it, you know, it was quite therapeutic. So I did write a long blog post, and that was 6-7 years ago, I noticed, because I don't blog at all. But yeah, it's given me the kickstart to write some more blog posts. So this year, and you know what, the last couple of years, it's been my New Year's resolution is to write more blogs, and just never get around to it. And I think blogs are sometimes used like to show off your work. You know, you see a lot of people will do a blog about a certain wedding, and you know, they'd also do like a report on it or whatever. But yeah, all my favorite work I either put on Instagram, or I'll just make a gallery within my portfolio section of the website. So I've never really had the need to blog about a wedding, because you'd be able to see that wedding elsewhere, you know, so it just kind of felt silly to duplicate all that work into a blog post. But yeah, this was a little bit different. You know, obviously it was such a mad year. Loads of stuff happened. I just thought it'd be a nice little thing to also look back on in the future as well. And not that anyone's going to forget 2020. Although everyone jokes about wanting to forget it. You know, I just thought it was nice to be able to summarize it in my own way. But also it was kind of me wanting to put a bit of my personality into my website as well.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, hopefully clients that read it will kind of get to know me a little bit better from reading it. And we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's out there in the wide now. So
with that, it's difficult to put that type of post on any platform other than your website, because of the way it's structured and the text and the images sort of interjecting into the text. It's sort of, you couldn't do a Facebook post out of that. It'd just be weird. It'd look odd. Obviously Instagram, you know, I mean, you could do Instagram to a point, but it would be like about 50 posts, wouldn't it? You know, maybe that's what you're doing here. It's sort of like today, and then, you know, you're doing a story, really. That's not a bad way of doing it, actually, is it?
Well, that's what I did think about that. But I'm going to do that anyway. And I'm just going to kind of dissect parts of that blog post.
Ah, right. Nice.
And turn it into stories. So kind of like what I do with this podcast, you know, when we put the episode together, I go back and kind of skim through and, you know, look for highlights and talking points, and it almost be like doing the same thing, I guess.
Highlights.
Well, yeah. Do we have any highlights?
I don't know. Low lights it is, isn't it? It's just me ranting.
Yeah.
But I mean,
if you are listening and you fancy checking out the end of year blog post, go to my Instagram page, click on the link in the bio, and then you'll see it there. Or you just go onto lloydwilliamsphotography.com/blog and you'll find it there. There you go. Well, that's an organic way of slotting in the plug for the website without waiting till the end. You've already heard it now. Go check it out.
Yeah. I'm nearly
I actually beat you to
the
post. I thought yours was going to go up way before me.
Well, because
you started.
I lost interest with it, to be honest. I think the other thing as well, it was like I'd done the wedding part of it quite quickly, and then when I started looking at the loft and my commercial work, because I didn't do, I almost wanted to use it as people can see the other stuff that I've done in the past as well. So it's not only things that I've done in 2020. I've thrown in some other work, because it's just a whole new way I've done it, you know. So I was
tempted to do that because I've got like unshown work from previous years, but then because I was writing it like in chronological order,
right,
I struggle to find a way to be able to put it in other than wait till the end and say, oh yeah, here's some pictures from 2019. So I just decided not to. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. You can just do it in another post.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, innit? You know?
I think that's the thing with blog posts. I think when you feel it feels forced, the reader is going to feel like it's been forced on them as well. So for me, it made sense because it was in natural sections, but it wasn't chronological. It was just, these are things we've done this year. And then in that section, I would talk about that thing. So whether it's the loft, it's like, look, this is like, I've been doing this for years. I've never really had an outlet for it. And then I just explained why I've come up with a second brand for.
Speaking of loft,
sort of thing. So,
your logo is very well positioned there in the background.
It's good, isn't it? It does look
you can
sweet.
See mine well positioned on the hood.
I know. Brand.
Look at us getting our brand
brand
in
pause. That's what we are.
First day videoing and we're both sneaking in the branding subtly.
Subliminal messages. That's what it is. It's like we're trying to get people to buy into us. No, I'm pretty happy with this. I quite like this setup. I was sick of doing video calls in the broom cupboard where my office is, which is fine for me. It's a nice place.
That's where I am right now, is the broom cupboard.
Yeah. But from a sound point of view, it looks pretty cool in the background with the sound panels and stuff.
Well, once I have a little tidy up there. But
I was kind of like,
worry about that.
Because this for me is like the meeting area and stuff. So it was, I wanted to say, look, this is where you would normally come, type of thing, instead of being jammed in even a smaller space than what you've got.
Yeah.
It was quite important for me to actually show off, like not show off, but show where you could come if you wanted to, have a meeting here.
Yeah.
Which is what I encourage anyway. So
are you sure you haven't just superimposed yourself onto a picture background? Because
it looks like that.
Sat in the house now, you could have fooled us all.
I know. I'm a green screen. You can see that sort of like fuzzy edge on me. But
speaking of video calls, I had my first experience this week of a 4-way video call for a wedding meeting.
What are you pitching against other photographers?
No, that's what it sounds like. No,
that would be weird, wouldn't it?
I misworded that. So I had a lead come through. It was a recommendation from previous guests to the podcast, Laura Beth, wedding planner. So she had a referral for me for this couple who get married in Tall John's in Breggan. So because she'd been, head organizer and arranging all the suppliers and the budgets and stuff, she said, would you like to join a Zoom call and you can speak to the couple? But they were in separate places. So the bride was working away. So she was in a hotel in Birmingham. Yeah. The groom was at home with the kids, and Laura was on the call as well.
Cool.
So she was listening in and just kind of, making points as we were going along. But there was the 4 of us on the screen.
Cool.
That was the first.
Yeah, that's good. That's the beauty of modern technology, isn't it? Especially when you're a wedding planner and stuff.
Usually it's, you've done lots of video calls yourself with couples. Usually they sat together, so you just got 2 screens going on, obviously yours and theirs. But with this, it was 4. There was 4 eyes to look at all at the same time. So,
Look at
but I did notice Zoom is much better these days for being able to have a fluid conversation. I think last year when Zoom first kind of became popular, I don't know, we used to do a lot of family quizzes on Zoom once a week. So I think there was probably 10 different connections, and it was just really hard to kind of talk over each other, but not talk over each other, but just, I think because the microphone gave preference to whoever it was that had the kind of yellow box around the screen.
Okay.
You almost had to wait for that yellow box to kind of disappear before you could then start speaking. It was almost
like hard cuts, wasn't it? Between
and it was just a bit, it wasn't very fluid. But I've noticed the Zoom they must have had a few upgrades and tweaked their software a little bit because, well, that's what we're on right now. And
we've from pretty much day one, we've been using Skype.
Yeah, but that was purely because it was easier to talk, wasn't it, on Skype?
Yeah, and also
you could try Zoom at the start of Ffotocast, and it was.
I don't think it had. Well, like we wanted to use FaceTime, but it wouldn't allow the recording through Audacity separately to FaceTime.
Yeah, FaceTime was just kind of just typical Apple. They blocked anything else from going on other than using the stupid stupid cameras they put into their
crap.
Why haven't they sorted out those webcams yet?
It's embarrassing now, isn't it? I mean, it's a 10-year-old camera.
Especially they just launched that new range of MacBooks. A year into the pandemic, they know everyone's working from home.
I'll give them a pass with that to a point.
Okay, you've got some inside knowledge of you.
Well, they are redesigning those MacBooks, so it's another thing to add to the redesign. It's like we've got a new shape, new design. Also, we've finally updated our
They've already designed them. It's there. That camera is there. Why can't they just take that out of the phone and just put it onto the laptop? I don't know.
I just should be Apple listens.
Speaking of which,
I love everything about them.
I'm not really that much into like my computer parts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if it works, it works. Great. Yeah. Interestingly enough, I've found out from a friend this week that there's a global chip shortage. There's a global silicon shortage. Okay. Did you know that?
There seems to be shortages of everything at the moment, so I didn't know that.
Gladly not toilet roll.
No.
But no, the reason for Sony not releasing more PS5s than they would like to, is not because they're purposely holding them back to build up demand, which is often a technique used by. Well, that's what you thought it was, but basically, to cut a long story short, I borrowed my friend Dave's PS4. So lockdown last March, April, he's like, "Oh, if you want to borrow my PS4, I don't use it. I play games on the PC, so it's literally in the box. So you're more than welcome to have it and use it in lockdown." So I was like, sound. So 2 weeks ago, he's like, "Oh, Lloyd, have you still got my PS4?" I was like, yeah, of course I have. Yeah. And he's like, "I want it back." I was like, "Oh,
I'm you, Dave."
I've become attached to it now. I was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Can't I just buy it off you?" And he's like, no, I really want it back because I'm selling my graphics card.
Right, okay.
So I can't play on the PC anymore. And I was like, "Why are you selling your graphics card?" I was just kind of trying to keep the PS4 really. I was like, why are you selling
what are you doing, you crazy fool?
And he's like, "Well, it's gone up in value. So I'm going to sell it and make a profit." And I was like, "What?" Don't ask me what it was. I don't know anything about model numbers or anything, but it was obviously a good graphics card because he's
gaming as well, so it's obviously to a level.
But he said that basically he put it on eBay and he sold it for 600 quid. He bought it a few years ago. I think he said 300 maybe ish. So because there's a shortage of them, there's a demand on eBay. So he's unplugged it from his computer to sell it. And he's like, "You know what? I'll just buy it back later in the year once everything's calmed down with the chip shortage." And I was like, "Chip shortage?" And I was like, "What are you on about? I've been eating all the chips I have. I got a shortage in my house for sure because they're all gone." Lol. But that's what we did. So he had the PS4 back off me to use in the meantime while he's made 300 quid on his graphics card.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Boring story, but that relates to, that ties back in, which is why I started talking about in the first place, Apple making their own chips.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons why we don't have to rely on other companies making the chips for them if there is a shortage, and they just made their own. So I didn't realize that. So well done, Apple.
Yeah, they obviously they've been using it on their phones and iPads for a long time. So they've just transitioned into that. But the thing is, what the biggest change, like from our point of view, is there's people now that have got like 10, 15 grand's worth of Mac Pros, the big cheese grater thing.
Yeah.
And they're actually selling it because the like £1,100 Mac Mini does pretty much the same thing.
I didn't realize that.
They are crazy powerful for what they are. And also for a first generation product. Apple are traditionally, their first generations are always like, test the water. It's okay. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But even now, these things are like, and I don't know, I need a new MacBook, as I've said, so I'm probably going to get one. But I might try and hold on a little bit longer. Maybe a 14-inch one or something, or a 16-inch. I don't know. I will see. We'll see. But yeah, fair play to them. They've just given given everything a bit of a shake up in terms of like manufacturers from Intel and AMD and stuff. So
yeah, I bet. Was it Intel?
Intel they were on previously, yeah.
Yeah, so I bet Intel are pretty sad about that, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, imagine the amount of machines they had Intel chips in, from MacBooks to Mac Minis through iMac Pros.
Yeah, we look at how many units
everything
sold per year.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, so that's a big change, but great for us. It's just
it's good for the consumer, I guess, giving more options and more
competition. The only issue is that you won't see like the upgrade prices for stuff from Apple, as typical, is crazy, because everything is soldered in place, so you can't like swap out RAM or something. So they drop the price initially, but then you pay,
which is great for upgrades, like portability, I guess. You can make laptops smaller, lighter,
more power efficient.
Not so good when you spilt a cup of coffee all over your laptop.
How do you feel now? Do you wish you'd like held out a little bit longer and got this new new MacBook with the new Apple Silicon, or you just happy with what you got?
Not really. I haven't really done much, intensive work on it yet. Yeah. So it's been fine for the time being. I've just been speaking to you on Skype every week and doing emails. So I haven't really done much on it. So yeah, like you're always going to have that feeling of, I wish I'd waited.
Yeah, that's the thing with Apple, isn't it?
I think that happens at any point during, a purchase timeline. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you're going to buy, you're still going to have.
Yeah, unless you get whatever it is the day it comes out, there's always like, a period of time where you're waiting for the next
and you upgrade around the corner and whatever. So yeah, it's all good.
I think for me, I am looking at it because I done a shoot on Tuesday, I think it was. Yeah. Some burgers, basically.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I got to be honest.
Did you get to eat them after you photographed them?
I didn't touch them. I'm trying to cut down on. I'm trying to lose a bit of weight. My face has gone, as you might now can see. got a bit overweight.
Is that why you've got the camera up at a high angle pointing down?
Yeah. Well, it's not good to see for a bald person. There's no good angle for a selfie. You lift your arm up and all it is forehead. Down low on his chin, so it isn't a good angle for a bald-headed guy. But the shoot on there, especially with food photography, like have you done much food in the past?
I have in the past, yeah. Alice used to have a restaurant, so
you want to be shooting your curries that you're making?
You know what? Yeah, I thought about that. I made another one last night, and
6 hours.
I was too hungry. I was like, no, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
No, last night's one was actually pretty quick because I batch made my sauce last week. So I literally, all I had to do was cook my chicken and it was ready to go. So,
yeah. But with
I would
food,
like to shoot my curries, but
it's quite nice food photography.
Yeah, I'd have to get some sort of lighting rig out and yeah,
it's a bit of an effort, isn't it? I think with that, especially if you've been cooking for a while, you just want to eat it. But like when you shoot that, food,
all the shoots I've done before with food, I've always eaten them afterwards.
Yeah, I have as well. But I was like, no.
One of the perks of the job of doing a food shoot is they say, oh, well, go on, you can have a little bit.
It is
good because I've been smelling it for an hour and it smells good.
Yeah, I was super tempted. I gotta be honest, but I done well not to eat anyway. But the reason it made me think about buying a MacBook is because I do food quite often. But the thing is, when you're shooting food, once you get everything dialed in, it's pretty quick to photograph from there on. Yeah. So you get a bit of downtime in between each course.
Bit of a breather.
Yeah. So you could sit there and if you're shooting tethered, you could have the images coming straight into your laptop.
Yeah.
And you can start editing straight away.
Yeah, true.
So you can get a bulk of the edit, or even culling, even just going through the images and go, yeah, that's what I'm going to edit. So, you're not wasting time. So by the time I'll come in the day after, import, there's, 300 images or something, they got to render, this, that, and the other. So I could have done all that as I was going along. So the amount of time I could have saved, would have been, pretty much the time I was there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So that's kind of, and obviously the fact my MacBook is from 2015. So it's coming up to, maybe 6 years old. So
it's in black and white. Is it?
Like I said, it's Trigger's brush.
Yeah.
I mean, I am toying with it, but I don't know. We'll see how many shoots I got coming up now where I would need it, but I can't see anything at the moment. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I shot tethered yesterday. I did a shoot yesterday for a friend of mine, Ramesh, his recording studio.
Yeah.
So I had to photograph all of his amps he's got there.
Cool. Yeah, look wicked there. Nice backdrop there.
Yeah, nice little job. First one of the year, really. So yeah, he basically said, I want to keep it as simple as possible, because I was we were going to shoot all the amps on a white background.
Okay.
So that was going to involve obviously bringing a background stand and roll a background and everything else, and more lights to light it up and stuff. So basically the project was to promote a plugin for, I'm not even sure what software. I think it's Universal. Yeah. So you would buy Ramesh's plugin pack.
Right.
So that would emulate the sounds of certain amps.
Yeah.
I've gone dark. So basically that was his initial idea, was to, get an individual shot of each amp. But we decided to use the wall instead. But he said, don't like bother bringing all your backgrounds and stuff. He's like, I just want them shot in situ. So because he said to me, I want to simplify things, I didn't bring my laptop. I thought, well, if we're doing it simple, and obviously with social distancing and everything, I don't need to tether on this one, because it's, but he's like, I want to look at that shot. I want to look at that shot.
That's the thing.
I would normally have maybe bought my laptop and you could have seen as I'm going along, but
I did. I took the iPad and I done a few wireless transfers to the iPad just to show him, like, look, this is what it's like, because I could set that up across the room and then have them see the images come in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's really good for, like, if you got an awkward client as well, that you just want to get it almost like a sign off of the images.
They're the ones that want those images, and they're the ones that are paying for them, and they've often got an idea of how they're going to look. It is super useful for them to see on a screen.
It's.
I just thought on yesterday's assignment it wasn't necessary, because he said just keep it simple. So one camera and a couple of lights is as simple as it gets.
Cool. Yeah, I think I probably will end up getting one at some point, but it's just one of those ones where I just got to figure out when do I need it. Money as well. I had a stinger this week. I had to refund a wedding.
No way.
Yeah, they actually, there were a couple I sent your way for what's that? What's the one out in West Wales?
Fishguard.
Yeah. So they paid the full balance before they went in, and then obviously they had to reschedule the wedding, so I had to refund £1,400, which sucks. But so that's that hasn't been a good week, but I don't know. Bookings and inquiries still keep coming in, so
yeah. There's still optimism going on for next year.
It is.
There's still inquiries and bookings coming through, which is cool.
Yeah.
But there's also still rescheduling going on, so not so cool.
We're not going to talk about that, because it's the same thing every week, to be honest.
Yeah, because I almost thought then we'd done pretty well to get to this point without mentioning. We've done it now. Let's move on. Are you? Is there anything else you got coming up in the next week or so? I'm working with Doomsday on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what we're doing yet, but we've got some new products to launch. So we'll probably be doing a studio shoot on the white background, and we'll probably be doing a little something with a model, maybe.
Cool.
So I got that planned in for next week. No, that's it at the moment.
I got nothing for the next 2 weeks. We do have the, I guess week today is going to be the next announcement to see if lockdown's extended and stuff. So
yeah.
I guess that, for me, that makes things change a little bit. I'm getting a few studio inquiries, so obviously I can't take any bookings yet.
Yeah. I spoke to somebody this week who's getting married in April.
Yeah.
So April's not really that far away if you think about it. It's only 3 months away. But their venue, I won't mention any names, but their venue...
throw them under the bus.
Well, especially not on video. Oh, now we're on video. Well,
this is where you hold the sign up.
Yeah.
Hold the sign up, Lloyd, so the people will have to watch our video.
Yeah. No, but it's a very popular venue. Both you and I go there quite often. And they said basically we can't really make a decision on what we're going to do until like a month before.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, but it's also really frustrating for them because they don't know what's going on with their wedding, and it's only in a few months' time. They're not even sure if it's going to go ahead or.
Well, they can't postpone it.
Well, they can, but what they said is, if you postpone it and it doesn't go ahead, we would have lost out on. Oh, sorry, if it can go ahead in April, but you've already jumped ship now, that means we're going to have a Saturday that's empty where it could have been full.
Like the rest of the year, then.
I know. I mean, to you and I, it is what it is. But to them, obviously, they got a lot more overheads and they got a lot of. I think a lot of their decisions will be based on financial.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
But that's what they said. So, yeah.
April.
I just touched base with them just to see. I was like,
Oh, they were already booked in, were they, for April?
Oh yeah. They've been booked in for like a year, but I've just been checking in with everyone to see what's going on, and they said, don't know.
Yeah, so I sent out an email, and this is one of the things where Sprout, my CRM, just is worth its weight in gold. So they've got an email marketing feature on it. This is where I get a bit techie, so sorry, folks. But
yeah,
it's like MailChimp. So you can set up an email list, write an email, and then send it out to everyone. Mm-hmm. But the good thing about it is you can send it to all clients between a time frame, job type, or there's loads of different options. You can like whittle it down. So if you wanted to send it to someone that's getting married between September and December, this year, you can
just
do
pull that data out. And
so I sent out, it was
nice
54 emails in 5 minutes.
Okay, so question for them. Was it the same subject title in every email?
Yes.
So when they reply,
it comes into the same. Yeah,
it all gets lost in a thread.
It does. Yeah. That.
No, man. Now this is what happened to me last year. I emailed everyone, but I did it through mail, Apple Mail. I emailed it to myself.
Yeah.
And I put everyone else in the BCC.
Yeah.
Nobody else would see who I'd sent it to. So
there's pros and cons of that. You see them all in one like thread.
Well, yeah,
but it's difficult to understand who you're replying to.
The subject line was obviously COVID-19 rescheduling, and it was just a touching base,
I gotta
whatever.
Make a note
but
of this
then
now.
When everyone replied to me, they obviously hit reply on that email, and understandably. But then that meant that all those emails from different people were organized into one thread because it was the same subject line.
Right.
And I was like, I wish I'd thought of a better way of doing that, because it was just a nightmare to keep on top of who had replied. And then obviously it's natural then to then reply to that email to carry on the conversation. But then that was kind of making it worse. And yeah,
because you get a weird kind of thread of emails. It's like, who have I replied to then?
Yeah. But the only way you can know is by reading the name. Like,
you can,
hi, Suzanne, or whatever.
Oh yeah, I never do that. I would say hi. So I made it even worse for me.
Yeah,
The way you can do it in Sprout is you actually put a variable in the title. So you can put in variables like client name, client date, first name, last name, and so on. So
that solves that problem in
I'll have to remember that. I will have to remember that in the future. But super handy. I was just giving an update on the way I'm doing things going forward, So I got to have a chat with most people. And then you get like a report, how many opens, how many link clicks, and so on. Same as you get in MailChimp, but super handy. So good. So good. I spent ages emailing everyone last year. Even just collating the email addresses to be able to send out, that takes long enough. But yeah, that was pretty good. And then today, I got no work on, but I've got a meeting, video call meeting at next half an hour or so with I don't know. Is it called? I don't even know what university it is. I should know, shouldn't I? But basically,
probably if you're FaceTiming them in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I should know. But I know the person that gave me the information about this was she come into the studio for Christmas shoots and she said, look, I'm involved with the university with doing this, that, and the other. So basically, it's you apply to have a promo video done for your business.
Right.
So
okay.
You then get
a student does it for you if
but they're actually in crews. So they're in like 3 to 5 man crews or 3 to 5 person crews, and then I've got to interview them basically. So they've got to make a bit of a pitch towards me. So it's as if they are going for a job.
Oh, they want to do your video.
They're going to do my video. Yeah, not me doing theirs. No.
For some reason, I thought it was the other way around, and you wanted them to shoot a video for you.
No, it's no.
Wrong end of the stick.
Yeah, there's like three or 4 businesses that have applied for this. So they've so if they got like 10 crews, they've then picked their favorites that they'd want to shoot. And then we kind of get matched, and then we interview each other almost. And then they do a video as part of their course, a promo video.
Nice.
And I get to obviously use it then for promotional.
Are they pitching to you? Is it like Dragon's like Den style?
Yeah, or? I mean, I to be honest, I mean, I just want to meet them as well and see what they do and how they're
going to be harsh. You're going to be Duncan Bannatyne, or are you going to be more of a Peter Jones?
I'd be a right dick, I think. Yeah, that's the right one.
Or you might be a Deborah Mead.
Like I could do it myself. I don't need you guys. No, I don't really know what I'm going to ask. And I just, this is one of the reasons why I set up this camera angle as well, so they could see the place, so they have a bit of better idea over there, and just got a bit of a wider angle on the lens.
Sure.
But I think it's 4 or 5 crews that I need to listen to their pitch, so it'll be quite interesting to see what they like. And
it's funny, I've got a friend called Crew.
Okay.
So every time you mention the word crew, I keep thinking I've got 10 crews. I'm just thinking of my mate Crew times 10. There's 10 of him.
Is that his first name?
No, it's his surname, but it's spelled with an E on the end, so it's Crew E.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, that was just popping into my head every time you said I've got 10 crews on the video call. Now I'm thinking of. Yeah.
So that'll be that'll be the next sort of half an hour and stuff. It'd be interesting to see what they say and how they do it. It's done via Microsoft Teams. I've not used that at all.
Cool. Yeah. No, I haven't jumped on that. It's another one.
Yeah. No, another
Skype
one. Talking about another one. There seems to be another social media platform vying for our attention.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been able to get in yet.
No,
I'm waiting
Clubhouse.
for an invite.
I know. It seems a bit underground, doesn't it? Clubhouse. It sort of reminds me of like, I don't know, Penthouse. It's like members only.
You think Miami, like rooftop bar, champagne. Yeah. No, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? From what I gather, it's just an audio social media platform.
It is. Maybe
that'd
we should
be perfect
look at it
for Ffotocast, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Is this something we can leverage a little bit? I don't know. Anyone listening that is on Clubhouse, give us an invite and let us know how it works. But I know
I'm in a group on Facebook for that workshop I did at Christmas time with Jonas Peterson, and he's been doing talks on Clubhouse, and I think you can only refer one person at a time.
Right.
I think once you're referred in, you then get either 1 or 2 referrals. So in that group, it's just people going, please, I want a referral. Let me in.
It's a good idea to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks it looks cool. It looks different. And I think for us being in the audio space, it doesn't seem like we would have to do anything out of the ordinary. We could just literally
just do this
on there as well. And that's what I think, that's how I think it works, is like you just drop into different conversations and chats about certain topics and areas of interest. So I'm looking forward to checking it out once I get in. So let's try and make it our mission to get a referral code in this weekend.
I know. Listen, send us invites, please.
Yeah, if anyone's listening, who
do you think it'd be like a load of, I don't know, maybe it's like us bumping our gums about like we do this, or it's a lot of people who think they I don't know, influencers or educators, were they not? I've seen so many people like selling courses or doing this, that, and the other, and I just look at them and going, I've been shooting for longer than you, and fair play to you doing it, but your work's not that good.
I think I know what you're talking about there.
Oh yeah, interesting. There's a couple of texts. Hold the sign up, Lloyd.
I think
our listeners can check out the video to see what who Lloyd's on about. So Lloyd's going to throw a venue and a photographer under the bus now. No, but I get it. We've all diversified in this, that, and the other. But there's
I think you need some sort of clout behind you before you do that. I think you need to be
maybe that's just our opinion.
Of course,
the way we
opinion,
are,
But I think that you need to be like well respected within the photography industry.
Yeah,
not by the number of weddings you've shot or how many clients you've got. It's about the photography circle, respecting and wanting to listen to what you got to say. I think that would be a better platform to rise up, to be able to educate people, instead of you deciding yourself, oh, I'm going to start doing a course.
Well, that takes a lot of balls, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Do you know what? I'm pretty good at this now. I'm going to tell you how to do it. And it's like, are you really?
Especially with a very short career as well.
Yeah, I think we are talking about the same person, aren't we?
Yeah.
Are we? Whoa, look at this. This is contentious. Maybe we have to cut this out, but we can't now, can we? Because it's on video. I got no problems with people doing it. I think it's really good to offer something unique, and like if you've had success with doing something, then by all means try and help someone. But the fact that then you almost assert yourself as being like the voice of the know-all, and
the voice of reason.
Yeah, I just think you've got to be there and gone through everything and failed and gone back again and gone through it for years and years and gained respect out of people. So that for me, that's why I would only do a course off someone that I know is tried and tested. They've been through the ringer, and
I mean, I've considered a course before, but not like, I'm going to do a course. It's more so I'd like to do a course, but how would you go about doing it? And you certainly wouldn't want to do it locally, because if you're training your competitors or your future competitors, if you're training them and they all live in South Wales, you're digging yourself a grave. So you'd have to kind of try and do it somewhere further afield, where if you're passing on your knowledge and your expertise to hobbyist photographers or anyone that wants to get into the wedding industry, you would want to do it in Scotland or Northern England, you and I have seen people do that before. They've run workshops for specific postcodes, and obviously they've made sure that the postcode is nowhere near where their client base lives.
Oh, it's like a non-compete clause almost. It's like when some people work for one company and they say you can't go and work for X company then.
Yeah. And I delivered workshops to students, in uni and college and stuff. And every time I do one of those, I always think, I'd love to do more of that. But let's just say I wanted to go and do that now in London.
Yeah.
I haven't got any contacts in London, so it's not going to work. I got lots of contacts in South Wales, but then I'm not going to want to go and talk to wedding photographers in South Wales about running a workshop. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So that's why I said, and that's the kind of point I was trying to make, is that if you are a well-renowned photographer within the industry and within the professional circles, I don't think that there matters.
Yeah, because you could almost pick where you wanted to do the workshop then. Yeah,
of course, yeah. And there's different types of workshops as well, isn't there? There's the ones where it's all about, it's almost like a styled photo shoot. Yeah. Everyone just brings their cameras and they just get to kind of update their portfolio. Issues with them.
I mean, I don't know how you feel about posting stuff like that, because it seems to be like there's some photographers that only post like style shoots. type of thing, and I think it's misleading almost. Which
it can be.
I don't know. It's just you're photographing models that know what to carry themselves, and I think. I'm on the fence with that one.
Obviously, they're a male and female model, husband and wife, and they're there for the day to pose for everyone and change outfits and use smoke bombs and all that stuff.
You're being really specific, Lloyd.
But yeah, if you're using that stuff,
then wedding, isn't it?
So, those pictures you've taken, not only have they also been taken by lots of other people on that workshop. Yeah. It almost kind of reminds me of that scene in the NEC at the photography show.
I knew you were going to bring that up then.
When you've got a girl stood on a background and everyone's there fighting over each other to get the shot with their SLR.
I love that. With all the branded tops on.
Yeah.
This is my favorite. It's my favorite thing. I missed that. I missed that this year. Seeing the people walking around with their cameras and branded tops. They're walking around with a 300mm f2.8 or something on a D5 or something like that.
I've seen they've announced. I'm definitely going to watch that one. I don't know if it's going to be a digital show this year or what, but Rankin is one of the key guest speakers.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be digital. I think they've already announced that. It's a bit of a shame, but
definitely be interested in listening to him.
Yeah, my video call has been pushed back half an hour, so you got extra fill today.
I was just looking at the time.
I know, I could see you looking at us. Say extra
hang on,
fill today.
Phil's gonna need to go in 9 minutes time now.
No, we've been pushed back, but it like that I don't know, that photograph and style things. I think it's good, but it seems to be all the same now. It's all that those style shoots all look the same. It's all alternative, and it's like I want to do a style shoot where it's like normal people, and this is what you could have in a venue that's attainable, instead of putting someone with a beard and loads of tattoos up a tree with smoke bombs or something. It's just it just seems a bit cliched now. It's like someone wearing a leather jacket holding their two fingers up. It's been done a bit now, haven't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a market for it, but I think those types of people won't need any encouragement to find the perfect supplier, if that makes sense.
I agree.
So they don't need to see lots of those kind of style photo shoots to think, oh yeah, this is the style of photography I'm into. I think they would just know anyway, and they would dismiss your more traditional photography and stuff, and
But I do fancy doing a style shoot with this, it's regular.
It has been on my mind for the last few weeks actually.
I don't know how to do it.
I've seen a few others, and I thought, that's one thing I've never got involved with is a style shoot.
It's hard work,
and I would like to give it a go, but I would want to do something different and put my own stamp on it. What that is, I don't know, but I guess they work really well for the suppliers who are involved, because whoever's obviously the stylist and the dress supplier and the makeup artist and stuff, obviously they get good content from it. And I suppose it's something to do as well. So, I'm not knocking the style shoots.
No, definitely not. I think they're there for a purpose, and you do get quite big reach out of it. But the other thing as well, I think, you can do it from a blog point of view. If you wanted to, let's say there's a venue that you wanted to target from a Google search point of view, so you could do a style shoot there and then use that as being the piece of content which you try and go up the rankings and stuff like that for. But I don't know, it just seems like a lot of it's forced and the same.
And that's also the thing, is that I sell myself as a wedding photographer, as a documentary, it's different, candid style shoot, capturing the moment. So doing a setup styled shoot is kind of like the opposite of what I ingrain into my kind of.
But do you think though then, people might then see you doing that and think, oh, actually you can do that as well? So it's let's say, because obviously you wouldn't put detailed photographs on your Instagram, for instance, would you?
I do sometimes, yeah.
But it's more documentary feel, isn't it? If you kind of went through it, and you'd get that feel. So
and
I guess one of the
questions
the
reason I do that though is just because it's you've had to use your brain a little bit more to take. You know,
I totally get why
and,
you do it. I just thinking whether, I guess the question to you is, if you've done it, do you think it would open up more avenues for people to get in touch because you show a different what you typically would show type of thing?
Yes and no. Yeah, I mean, I think it would obviously it would give you more exposure, but
yeah,
you can have good and bad exposure. Not that it would be bad exposure, but you know, it wouldn't be attracting my perfect client.
Yeah.
Is the fact that they're looking at that post and they're into the whole, you know, I want to look this way and I want
I was thinking
style
more
to be this way.
Yeah, I think you'd still shoot it the way you'd normally shoot it, but it would just give you extra content which you wouldn't typically post as much type of thing. You know,
yeah, but I know for a fact that like everyone else that would be on that shoot, they would be wanting me to shoot in that normal.
Yeah,
there you go. The inverted commas.
Yeah, there you go. You've done it
in that normal way, and I'd be like, well, you know, and then they'd be like, oh well, you know, that weird picture you kind of took through the square of a brick wall, that doesn't really show off my dress as much as I wanted it to, you know. So you might have a little issue, you know. And
I think that's the thing with like when I done the style shoot, like I just shot for me most of the time because it just satisfied what they wanted anyway. But I think if I was going to do it again, I would say, look, I'm going to get you the stuff you want. You can use it for whatever. I've got to get my own thing as well.
Yeah.
You know, so everyone's happy with it. And that was when I done it last time. We didn't really have a plan. We just said, look, we'll just do this, dress that, bring them in, do that. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, what are we trying to get out of it? You know, it was more of a case of, oh, this is what we can do. Oh shit, what we kind of like, what do we do now? type of thing. So it was, I don't know, it was good. It was good.
I suppose it depends on who it is that's actually organizing it and taking the lead.
Yeah, it was me. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times because the photographer's not, I mean, we would do it, I think, but we don't have to do anything really. We're just wandering around, you know, with some lights and stuff. So I think we're in the best position to do it.
Yeah.
Because we do see all those other things. Because when
let's
when do you ever
start a Lloyd and Phil style shoot, and we'll
just regular people, you know, no smoke bombs, no leather jackets, no V's in the air, you know, just regular people.
Oh,
nice
you're
venue,
doing yourself a
style really nice.
If anyone's listening, loves all that.
No,
stuff.
It's not that. It's just that's all it is. That's all it is. And I look, I think some of those shoots look great, but I don't see any difference. They're always that.
I'd say what I would be interested in doing is like a really old-fashioned photo shoot.
All right.
So we'd get we'd make it look like it was in the 20s or 30s or something.
Yeah.
Like maybe we'd shoot it on
then you're running a
cameras.
risk of doing that like Peaky Blinders type feel now, which is also kind of.
Is that really a thing though? I don't think it is.
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I've seen it quite a few times, but yeah, I know what you mean. Something a bit
to
different.
me, Peaky Blinders is a tweed suit, which you see quite often anyway.
Yeah.
Without it being Peaky Blinders.
Or something.
And shaving all the side of your hair off and leaving it long on the top. Wearing a cap.
Yeah.
If you didn't have the shaved hair and the cap, I don't think it's Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I know you
but,
mean.
you know, I think obviously it's a very popular TV show. I absolutely love it. I think it's class. And I can't wait.
Never seen it.
Haven't you?
No.
Oh.
It's on my
Stop what you're doing right now. Get yourself back to the house and watch Peaky Blinders.
Weirdly, I keep watching stuff about serial killers.
It's so good. I
make my way through all the serial killers at the moment, which is
taking a break from life, relaxing by watching a documentary about serial killers.
Yeah, I know. It's dreary in it at the moment. If you turn on the news, it's bad. If you put on Netflix, it's serial killers. I think.
Let's try and.
I wouldn't mind doing something.
I'd be up for that. Doing.
Yeah, I know. Leon.
It's different because
Leon
like
from the wedding guys is keen on doing something as well.
Whoever would be collaborating on that, they'd have to go out of their comfort zone. Like you wouldn't just be able to choose a modern dress. You'd have to go and research and you know what dresses did they wear in the 20s and what was the style and you know how did they wear makeup? They probably didn't wear much makeup, you know, and they probably weren't smiling and there was probably like a bit of grain in the, you know, and more so I would be interested in doing something like that.
Yeah, it would be the the opposite of what we typically would see, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you'd still shoot in the same locations, like outside the church and stuff, but you'd almost be wanting to make it look.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's what would interest me anyway, because it's different and it's a different angle on it, and that's just an idea that popped into my head while we were chatting about it.
I agree with it. I think I think if you're going to do it, there's got to be a reason to do it, or there's got to be a reason for someone to look at it as well. So obviously we would use it to show off our skills as well.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think if it's just, maybe that's what you do. You just do, here's a boring style shoot almost, don't expect smoke bombs or, it's just, you kind of go the opposite way to what people are trying to do. It's like, look how wild this wedding is, it's like, well, no, not every wedding's like that. The majority are not.
Yeah. This is our whole like Instagram culture though, isn't it? Like,
that's the problem. Yeah. And it's unattainable for most people.
Like I get the smoke bombs. Have you ever done a shoot with them?
No, I haven't. No, I'm keen to do it because I think from stylistically, I think it would suit my stuff, color and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did a band photo shoot a few years ago, and they wanted to do smoke bombs, so I went to buy them from the army store in Bridgend.
Yeah,
and they wouldn't sell me like more than, I think it was 3 or 4.
Really?
And they were like asking me where I was going to be using them and stuff, because I think they sell them for
proper
people to
reasons.
use it, like paintballing and stuff, or what's it called? Airsoft,
yeah. Don't anger those people. They don't like it. Paintballing.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
but yeah, they obviously are sold for a purpose, so I had to explain myself as to why I wanted to buy them. But anyway, we used them down the beach, and there was a bit of a breeze. It wasn't overly windy, but it was, we were on the beach, so it was going to, obviously exposed to the wind. Lit the smoke bombs, and what a nightmare! They're going all over the place.
Yeah, you need some secluded parts for that, don't you? I guess.
Yeah, and you haven't got along with them, and I was like, shit, like, and it was like pretty much dark, so I was trying to light these smoke bombs up with flash. Tricky stuff. But
I'm keen to try it. No one's really said about it.
Yeah, it's hard for me because I want to work with those couples that that don't want to kind of do that stuff. But then that's why everyone being different is a good thing.
Yeah, that's a bit of fun though, I guess. It's not.
Yeah, it is
kind of like doing sparklers for me.
It is. But obviously there's lots of people that do it, and it does look cool. But for me, I tell my couples that I don't want to take them away from the action for too long. I want them to be with everyone so I can catch them candidly laughing with everyone, blah, blah, blah. So for me then to say, right, I'm going to take you off for an extra half hour and do a smoke bomb photo shoot, it would just kind of wouldn't fit in with, but I do understand it and I do appreciate it. And I do think it can look good. So, I'm not mocking it. I'm just saying I probably wouldn't do it at a wedding, but
I think it would be one of those ones where I don't think it would take that long, would it? Because like I said, it don't.
No, but how about all the residue as well that comes off them?
I've
with a white dress.
No idea. No idea. But I guess they probably
get blamed for having colourful, smoky powder stuff all over your dress.
But they understand it, if that's what it is and they want to do it, cool. Then fine. You know what I mean? It's like kind of going down to Rossilly or something like that when it's muddy as hell.
Yeah, true.
You kind of accept it to get what you want to do. So.
I actually had this conversation with a potential couple earlier on this week. They were kind of being like, we're undecided about what to do. And I was just open and honest with them. And I said, look, there's loads of photographers in South Wales. As I'm sure you know, that's probably why you're having a tough time deciding. And I said, look, we're all friends. We're all on different Facebook groups and networks, and we all speak to each other. But I said, that's why it's such a nice space for us, is because we're all slightly different. We all offer something different, slightly different styles and vibes and stuff. And I just said, look, it's important for you to do your homework and thoroughly look through everyone that you are looking at. Obviously, I didn't know who they were looking at apart from myself, but I was just said, look, it's important for you to make the right decision. And if you want more group shots and more posy stuff, go and have a look at X, Y, and Z. If you want more, natural stuff, have a look at me and X, Y, and Z. And then I was thinking, why have I just said that?
No,
But they come back and they said, oh, that's really nice to hear that you're all good friends and you all, speak to each other and stuff. And she's like, yeah, I've identified myself that there's lots of different styles and vibes going on. And,
I totally agree. I do the same thing. I said it before. It's like, look, this is what I do.
Instead of pretending that, you're the best, book me. It's, let's be real. I even said, we even have a Christmas party and there's like 100 people turn up, it's not like you've only got a handful of us to choose from. There's loads of us. So, but it just felt nice to have that open conversation with them and does that make sense?
No, I did. I always, when I have a meeting, I tend to end up talking for an hour, but it's all about how I do it. And I'll say this, look, it is going to involve me. Obviously we'll talk about your wedding and stuff, but it's really important that you understand how I do this. And if that works for you and you like my photographs, then you're onto a winner type of thing. But see other people, because at the end of the day, we, if you look at our inquiries, how many say recommendations? Because the people that we've photographed understand what we do and how we do it. So therefore they're on board and they enjoy it. It's not like you're trying to sell, something that's fake. I can't think of the saying for that now. So then you're promising them the world and all of a sudden you do something else and they're like, well, hang on a second. That's not what I signed up for.
Yeah, exactly.
So they understand what they're going to get, and they know, and they're on board then for the rest of it. So
yeah, and that's why I don't put any group shots on my. You won't find any group shots on mine anyway.
I'll only do creative ones.
That's the thing. I still do them.
Yeah,
but I don't want them to think that they're going to spend all afternoon doing them. So I don't show them, and it's kind of. But that's the first question I get asked usually is, how about group shots? I'm like, of course, they're still important.
Yeah.
But I just
don't need to be
recommend keeping it to 5. Your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your bridesmaids, your groomsmen, and your grandparents, and
do one of all of them.
Everyone else does their own. So,
Yeah. No, I'm the same. I always say about that. I mean, I send the questionnaire out to see which ones they want. And I got my record with 54. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
That's not happening. If I took 2 minutes.
The thing is as well, because I care about my photography and I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
It's not just a business to me.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's how I make my living. But it'd be easy just to say, yeah, I'll do whatever you want and I'll shoot whatever style you want. And, because you're just chasing the dollar sign then.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to kind of stick to your guns and kind of do your thing and it pays off in the long run.
Yeah. But
we'll see.
That only happens because you're upfront about it at the start though.
Yeah.
They're not going to expect something else when they turn up. So
of course, yeah.
I'd rather be like that.
Bye Donald Trump.
Bye. Yes. My last talking point of the day. Inauguration. Do you know what? I'm so happy. I'm so happy with that.
I'm really happy, but I'm also a little bit gutted as well because he did bring a lot of entertainment.
Yeah.
And not just
he's not
recently.
going away. He's not going to go away quietly, Lloyd.
No, I know. And that made me laugh when he is like, he was the first president since 1860 something to snub a fellow or a successor's president's inauguration. He had his own little party, didn't he? That the morning of, it was like a departing party, and he said, "We will be back. We will be listening, and we will be watching, and we will be back."
No, you won't.
No, if you get impeached properly, mate. And
there's loads of lawsuits and stuff. The minute probably going into action now because he's a civilian now. So there's a real chance he ends up going to prison and stuff. So.
All those previous ones that were kind of put on hold while he was the president.
I know.
I listened to an interview with the former head of the FBI.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting because his kind of standpoint was, let's cancel the impeachment proceedings and let's not give him the stage that he wants.
Yes.
He kind of said, we got a new president now. America needs to heal and kind of change and stuff. By allowing him to kind of go through the court process of that impeachment, it's going to go on and on and on.
Yeah.
And it's going to give him months more kind of media coverage that he wants. So he said, it is the right thing to do. But for the greater good of the country, I think it's better if we just forget about it, knock it on the head, and
get on with real things. People die in. Let's get sort things out which are a bit more important right now. But I saw that people were saying the same sort of thing about Twitter. When you ban him on Twitter, you're almost making him a martyr or forcing him in underground almost, or off somewhere else, or some uncontrolled thing where they can say whatever they want. And so sometimes...
But it's crazy. Like, I think we take it for granted being able to go on Twitter or Instagram and post something and then people see it. That's just part of life now. Imagine having all of that stripped away from you. Imagine you wanted to put an offer out tomorrow morning.
It's been happening. Have you seen the amount of photographers that have been kicked off Instagram?
Yeah, I have seen a few.
So that
was that for political reasons, though?
No one knows. That's the problem. There don't seem to be any sort of feedback. There's sometimes obviously with Twitter they have strikes and warnings and stuff, but some of them just kick you off and that's it. So it's.
I just imagined, because obviously Donald was a big tweeter, but he's also a big pull for the platform as well.
Yes.
To be honest, quite often I would only go onto the Twitter app because I'd heard that Donald Trump had been on a mad one. Do you know what I mean?
I totally agree with you.
Totally agree, for them to kick him off was obviously a big decision for them, but they kind of were playing God in a way, and they decided it was for the greater good of the world for him not to be there. But
end of the day, you sign up and agree to their terms. But
imagine how powerless that made the president feel. He's just not able just to go on social media and just put out a sentence.
Well, that's his own fault.
Yeah, I know.
That is his own fault. End of the day, you agree. But you agree to someone else's terms. So if you break their terms,
and you don't read them, do you? You just click
say,
accept.
It's like you get a new Apple update, and you just scroll to the bottom, accept. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's like going into a school or a pub, and you see people moaning about school rules and this and that. Oh, my son had black trainers on. Well, no, the rule said is black shoes, dickhead. That's why they got sent home. You might not agree with those rules, but they are the rules of that thing that you're joining.
Yeah.
So it's look, all right, some of them suck, but end of the day, they're the rules. So, there you go. I had to get a rant in there, didn't I, Lloyd?
Quite often I get a telling off in the golf club if I leave my hat on in the clubhouse.
Golf clubs are the worst.
They are very snobby.
Run the golf club. I'm not going to throw them under the bus, right? Because I've been up there for years. But when I used to go, even putting your shoes on in the car park was massively frowned upon.
Well, because all the mud would be falling off your shoes onto the concrete.
To get changed to go and play. So you've driven there and then you put your golf shoes on to go and play. No, you have to walk into the clubhouse, into the change room to do it there, to walk out. It's just really...
Yeah.
Really. And then you go to I played in a Celtic Manor and they were you phone up and book a tea time. I'm do you need clubs? It's well, yeah, I booked a round of golf, haven't I? So I've got clubs. I don't know. Yeah. Might want some clubs. It's like the opposite. It's so laid back and stuff. And then you got the Ronda.
Telling you off for taking your shoes off in the car park.
Yeah. There's more than that, but that was one that I always thought was a bit strange.
Yeah.
There you go. Right. So should we wrap it up?
Yes, I think so.
I am freezing in here. This is
same. I turn my heaters off because obviously the noise of them interrupts the flow of the podcast, and you'll hear a constant humming in my microphone. So we're gonna end this episode, and I'm gonna put my heaters straight back on.
Yeah. So we'll decide what to do on this. I will be creating a Facebook page, not just a group. So if you do want to join a group, obviously search for that, and then we'll let you in. Hopefully people want to join to give us a Clubhouse invite, but there you go.
Yeah,
and
don't forget, anyone Clubhouse, let us know.
Yeah, I think we'll be looking at putting onto YouTube, then linking it over to Facebook or something. We'll be having a chat and deciding on best route forward for this, because I don't know, some people want to see our ugly, tired faces.
I'm looking very tired today.
I didn't have.
It's the angle of these lights that I've set up as well. It's kind of like making my bags look 10 times worse than they actually are.
So I don't know. We got things coming. I guess we took our first year to get used to it and kind of getting everything up and running.
And not only that, we started a podcast, which is what we've carried on doing. But I don't know. We've both got our fancy camera setups for our meetings, and we thought, well, let's just record and see what we can do with it. So you might see a few clips popping up on social. You might see a full episode in video format. We'll figure it out soon.
We'll do something.
We'll do
something, and no doubt we'll mess it up at some point. But hey, that's what it is. That's what it is. We're only human.
Cool. So anyone wants to check out Phil, where can they go?
So you can find me on Instagram at Phil Warren Photo and at Loft Studio UK, and same on Facebook.
Cool.
Yeah. You dropped your website, didn't you? So
I've already plugged the website, but I'll do it for a second time in case you kind of fast forwarded because you found that bit boring or whatever. But it's LloydWilliamsPhotography.com.
Yeah.
Instagram is at LWilliamsPhoto.
Cool.
Go and have a read of my blog post, because it's the first one I've done in 4 years. Diolch yn fawr. We'll be back next week with episode number 35.
Yeah.
Maybe a special guest.
Fingers crossed. We try our best to get as many guests on as possible. But I'm waiting on one. Go from there.
So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next week.
Stay safe.
Bye bye.